Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Diana Klink, and on behalf of the City of Suffolk and the Hampton Roads Chamber of Commerce, we'd like to thank you for joining us today at the 2013 State of the City event. I would like to ask that everyone please stand for the presentation of colors by the Suffolk Public Safety Honor Guard, and please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance led by Rear Admiral Gretchen Herbert, Commander of Navy Cyber Forces.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated. Thank you, Rear Admiral Herbert. I would like to welcome to the podium at this time Betty Kadire, Suffolk Division Chair of the Hampton Roads Chamber of Commerce.
Thanks, Diana. Thank you, members of the Honor Guard and Rear Admiral Herbert. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. It's a great day to be in Suffolk, don't you think?
Yes.
My name is Betty Kadire, and I'm the 2013 Chair of the Suffolk Division of the Chamber of Commerce. And it's my distinct pleasure to welcome you here to the final Hampton Roads Chamber State of the City. The Chamber has seen outstanding attendance and fabulous presentations from the mayors this year, and we are sure you won't be disappointed in Suffolk's. I say maybe they saved the best for last. I want to let you know that Suffolk has a reputation as a first-class city on the move in this competitive and challenging world. In addition, I just wanted to say on behalf of the Chamber that I'd be remiss if I didn't acknowledge all of the work and the great job that the Chamber has been doing for the city and the Hampton Roads Chamber, businesses both large and small. Whether it's looking out for the best interests of the city with the General Assembly or providing professional networking opportunities, morning, noon, and night, or providing first-class business education programs, the Chamber is engaged with our businesses and public policy in Suffolk and the region and the Commonwealth. I strongly urge you to attend our monthly meetings. These are open to the membership. We'd like for you to see for yourself that we're active here in the city of Suffolk and in every city in Hampton Roads. At your table today, just wanted to point out there's a flyer. Our upcoming event on May 30th is called Mingle on Main Street. It's across the street at the Pavilion in the Visitor Center, and we hope you'll take time to take advantage of this networking event and to promote your business and just to come out and have some fun. And I've been told that Farm Fresh is going to be there, and one of our sponsors, they're going to be doing a wine and cheese tasting. So I hope you all will come out and enjoy that. Also, today's Chamber events will be tweeting, the Chamber will be tweeting today's events. I'm having a little trouble with this because I don't tweet. But for the younger folks in the audience, you can join us on Twitter at Chambers757. And if you're tweeting, please use hashtag Suffolk SOC. Now it's my pleasure to introduce the distinguished people at our head table. From my left, your right, the first person is Jack Hornbeck, who's the President and Chief Executive Officer for the Hampton Roads Chamber of Commerce. After more than 25 years of leading the Chamber, Jack has announced his retirement. And this will be his last State of the City program. And Jack, I just wanted to say, on behalf of everyone in the city of Suffolk that you've helped over the years, we wish you and Janice the best in your future travels and endeavors. We'd also like to give you just a little token of Suffolk, which is, as you may know, Virginia's largest city. And what would be travels without peanuts? The next person on the head table is Michael Kerner. He's the Chief Executive Officer for Bon Secours Hampton Roads Health System and our very gracious platinum sponsor. Thank you. Next to Mr. Kerner is Deborah Stearns. Deborah's with Jones, Lang, and LaSalle, and she is our 2013 chair for the Hampton Roads Chamber of Commerce. Next is Ms. Selena Cuffey-Glenn, our city manager. Next to Ms. Cuffey-Glenn is Diana Klink. She is the Director of Media and Community Relations with the City of Suffolk. To my right is Mr. Ward Robinette, President of Town Bank, Suffolk and Portsmouth, and our generous presenting sponsor for today's luncheon. Thank you. Next to Mr. Robinette is the Honorable Mayor, Linda Johnson. And next to Mayor Johnson is Rear Admiral Gretchen Herbert, who is the commander of the Neighbor Cyber Forces in Suffolk. Thank you. And next to Rear Admiral Herbert is Dr. Stephen Blunt, who's the pastor of First Baptist Church on Mahan Street. As always, we're delighted to have the members of the Suffolk City Council with us today. If you would please stand, I'd like to ask everyone to hold their applause until I finish recognizing all of our VIPs. Vice Mayor Charles Brown, Councilman Roger Fawcett, Councilman Charles Parr, Councilman Curtis Miltier, Councilman Jeff Gardy, Councilman Lou Ward, and Councilman Mike Duman. Now you can applaud. From our constitutional offices, we're delighted to have with us today Sheriff Raleigh Isaacs, if you would please stand. City Treasurer Ron Williams, Clerk of the Court Randy Carter, Commonwealth's Attorney Phil Ferguson, Commissioner of the Revenue Thomas Hazelwood. From the General Assembly, From the General Assembly, we're delighted to have Delegate Chris Jones, Delegate Lionel Spruill, and Delegate Cosgrove sent his regrets due to his last-minute challenge to receive the nomination to the State Senate. From Senator Tommy Norman's office, we have Ms. Kayla Sokos. And we want to express thanks, while you all stand, we just want to express our thanks to this delegation that voted for the passage of the transportation funding legislation this year. We applaud your vision and your courage to take on the critical issues that impact our present and future quality of life. Thank you. A few other dignitaries. Congressman Randy Forbes, I believe, is represented by Curtis Byrd. From the Hampton Roads Military Facilities Alliance, we have Craig Quigley. I would also like to recognize our city manager, Selena Cuffey Glenn, and her hardworking staff. Selena, would you and your public safety officials and all your staff stand to be recognized? Thank you all for your service to Suffolk. Before I turn the podium over to Dr. Blunt, we want to recognize our generous sponsors, without whom events such as these would not be possible. The series presenting sponsor is Town Bank. The series platinum sponsor is Bon Secours Virginia Health System. The series silver sponsors are Farm Fresh and Optima Health Plans. Our table and program sponsors are listed on the back of the page of your program, and we hope you all will take a look at those. Thank you all for your support. And I believe we have another distinguished guest that's just arrived. Maybe had a little trouble with the parking. Mayor Wright from the City of Portsmouth. Dr. Blunt, would you please assist me by providing our invocation?
May we bow for a word of prayer together. Our Father and our Lord, we would like to thank you for this day. We thank you for the joy and the blessing that it is to realize that once more we are the recipients of yet another measure of the illustrations of your sovereignty, your goodness, your grace, and your mercy. We bless your name on today as you have allowed us even now to come and to celebrate the wonderful things that you are doing in the great city of Suffolk. We praise your name for how your hand has rested upon us, how you've kept your hand upon our state and our local officials, the wonderful staff, all of those who volunteer, those who serve, and all of those who make up the fabric of this great city. We simply pray now that you would be here with us, that your Holy Spirit would tarry with us yet for a while longer as we share together and begin to even celebrate the continuing vision of this wonderful city. Be with us in our fellowship, be with us in our sharing, be with us in our dining, and let us never forget from whom all of our blessings flow. For this is our prayer together. It's in Jesus' name that we do pray. Amen.
Thank you, Dr. Blunt. Everyone enjoy your lunch, which, by the way, this has been selected in accordance with the mission of Healthy People, Healthy Suffolk. Bon appetit. If I could have your attention, ladies and gentlemen, Please continue to eat. We're going to start our program now. Just hope you all enjoyed that meal. It was delicious. Thank you all. It's my pleasure to ask Ward Robinette from Town Bank, our presenting sponsor, to the podium to introduce our guest speaker.
Thank you very much. Once again this year, it is indeed a pleasure for all of the town family to be the presenting sponsor for this very worthwhile community cause in the Hampton Roads region. And it is particularly gratifying for me to stand before you this afternoon with a record attendance here in Suffolk and hear what the mayor has to say about what's going on here in Suffolk. Mayor Wright asked me to be as brief as I was with him in Portsmouth, so I will do the same here, and I will call your attention to the program that is before you this afternoon, because the complete bio is in there, save a little bit of information that you may or may not know about Mayor Johnson. One is she has 2 bricks in front of her right now, and if I say anything wrong, she has threatened to take care of me. But secondly, she is doing a fantastic job in our real estate department, not only selling Suffolk and selling all of the houses and the buildings that are going up here in this community, but is a real champion of the Hampton Roads region. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Mayor Linda Johnson.
Good afternoon. Before I get started, I just want to tell you that you all look awesome. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Ward, for the introduction. It's always a privilege and an honor to be introduced by Mr. Robinette, and it's such a great day to be here for all of us. Welcome to the Suffolk State of the City. The Suffolk State of the City is presented by the Hampton Roads Chamber of Commerce, and on behalf of everyone here, I'd like to say to all the members of the Chamber, thank you. We so appreciate your tireless efforts as the voice of business in promoting our region and our community. I am delighted that you could join us today for the State of the City presentation as we will highlight for you our blueprint for success. It has been said that success means doing the best we can with what we have. Success is the doing, not the getting, and the trying, not the triumph. Success is a personal standard, reaching for the highest that is in us, becoming all that we can be. It is evident that over the years in Suffolk, we have done just that. We've not been content to rest on successes of the past, but we've continued on undaunted in our quest to make our city the very best that it can be. We may each be different, but we all share the same title of citizen or business, and we each share the same desires to move our city forward, not only for the sake of our children, but for all of our futures. Today, I believe we're accomplishing something very incredible. I believe we're creating a blueprint that is even more vibrant in a dynamic city. Sharing those beliefs are my fellow members of City Council, and I'm going to ask that you stand again and be recognized. Thank you for your leadership representing the citizens in your individual boroughs, as well as your sincere desire to do what is best for the city as a whole. It is our duty and it is our privilege to keep Suffolk moving forward. There is another individual that deserves special recognition. In fact, you could say that she is the chief architect responsible for the structural design and construction supervision of our city. And that's our city manager, Selena Cuffey-Glenn. Her commitment and dedication to this city has been unwavering, and her strong leadership and guidance has been a major factor in enabling us to enjoy the successes we have been able to celebrate in recent years. Let me also note that our city manager received her master's degree from the University of Virginia School of Architecture, so she is uniquely qualified to help design and shape the future of our city. A most important key to successful leadership is the ability to direct and challenge the very best that is in those you lead. And I would ask that our city employees with us today stand to be recognized. Please. All of you. An empowered organization is one in which individuals have the knowledge and desire and the opportunity to personally succeed. And these individuals, along with their fellow employees who are not here today because they are working, epitomize the very best traits of public servants. Their professionalism and hard work continue to help us shape this great city. In Suffolk, we're continuing to build on our progress, and we're delighted to officially break ground on the construction of the new combined municipal center and E911 call center in February. This building truly symbolizes just how far this city has come, as it not only represents our past successes, but also the strong future that we have in store for us. The municipal center will not only be a source of great pride for our residents, but it will also be in responsiveness to the emergencies and be a place where dedicated city employees can continue their commitment to our quality customer service. Here we'll bring a large number of city departments under one roof to offer a convenient one-stop shop for those conducting business. It is also only fitting that the fastest growing city in Hampton Roads has a shining modern facility in which to continue our forward momentum and where businesses and industries seeking to locate or grow with us feel comfortable in investing millions of dollars, not to mention the jobs that they will bring to our city. The construction of this municipal center will also be a catalyst for continued redevelopment and growth downtown, bringing more people and economic life to this historic area. As Suffolk's population continues to expand, a state-of-the-art facility to serve our citizens is not only a need, it is a priority. It's not only showcasing a government working towards progress, but one that is also committed to long-term strategic growth in the future. It's been said that the future is not a result of choices among alternative paths offered by the present, but a place that is created. Created first in the mind and the will, created next in activity. The future is not some place where we are going, but it is one that we are creating. Indeed, we have much to be proud of and haven't forgotten the significance of being recognized a few short years ago as one of the top 100 small cities to live in by CNN Money magazine. Even now, they continue to take notice of our progress and rank Suffolk in their top 10 communities in its best places to live national top 25 list for where the jobs are in 2012. In fact, Suffolk actually saw a 43% jump in job growth rates from 2000 to 2011. Success is not so much what we have as it is what we are. What we are is a city poised for a shining future built on a strong foundation. Throughout today's presentation, we will highlight the cornerstones of our blueprint for success, starting with our financial standing. Let's take a look.
Together, we built on the progress we've seen over recent years and are watching plans for the city of Suffolk change into reality. Over the past 10 years, Suffolk's population has increased 34.6%, which is almost 3 times higher than any other city in the region. Even in tough times and a weak economy, businesses, visitors, and new residents continue to move forward and say, "Yes, Suffolk." And the reasons are abundantly clear. We truly offer the best of both worlds, small-town charm and hospitality in the midst of cutting-edge technologies and innovation. Good jobs, enhanced public safety, hometown appeal, recreational activities, and many more characteristics that make a city a great place to raise a family are all found in Suffolk. In fact, those traits are the very reasons why Town Bank chose Suffolk as a site to spend millions in capital investment in order to locate their 18,000 square foot town university and their 50,000 square foot member services center.
We chose Suffolk because of the development that was happening out here, the major business and industry that was coming to the North Suffolk area. And then when you look at North Suffolk on the map, you see that it has the potential of becoming the downtown of Hampton Roads.
While we're talking about millions of dollars in investments, how does $96.2 million sound? That's the amount Unilever Lipton will be investing in Suffolk following the announcement in March when Governor Bob McDonnell joined us as plans were unveiled to replace machines and introduce new tea production technology during the next 5 years. Governor McDonnell went on to say that this investment helps secure Unilever's future in Suffolk and is a major win for Suffolk and Virginia. Lipton has been a mainstay in Suffolk's economic landscape for almost 6 decades, employing 300 people and producing more than 6 billion tea bags annually for all of Lipton's North American market. Let's hear what Bill Kelly, Lipton's plant manager, had to say about this exciting announcement.
I think Suffolk provides a partnership environment for companies and for Suffolk to both grow together. I think the location also provides an opportunity to get the best possible workforce. And the proximity to this port also enables our business to operate efficiently and productively.
You could certainly say that all Suffolk has to offer certainly fits businesses large and small to a T.
Today's State of the City presenting sponsor, Town Bank, first began, and I quote, "as a dream to build a community asset that would do good things for others and to provide financial support in making the dreams of their members a reality." In the words of Bob Aston, Chairman and CEO of Town Bank, the region's largest locally owned bank, the Town family stands ready to support your journey to success. As a city, we also support that philosophy. Even in this economic environment, a vital component to our success is the need to continue to invest in our people, facilities, and technologies. This is essential to our purpose to provide services that we are proud to deliver to our citizens. Every plan we make, every action we implement is driven by the desire to continue to make Suffolk a great place to live and work, and to meet and exceed our community's expectations for providing comprehensive services which of course will be provided at the new municipal center. The city of Suffolk, like our neighboring cities and indeed the entire nation, continues to face one of the most challenging economic environments in recent history. We fully recognize, however, that with growth comes economic recovery, and we'll continue to focus on investments for the future. It is important that our citizens understand that the fiscal discipline and painful choices that we've made in recent years have translated into solid financial health, even in these lean times. Because of the broad range of cost-cutting measures that we implemented early on in the recession, we have remained on sound financial footing to this day. We are well on our way to the coveted AAA bond rating that will further help trim borrowing costs. Low interest rates also make it even smarter to invest in infrastructure, now as we can take advantage of some of the lowest permanent costs of borrowing in modern history. Due to the strength of our financial house, the bond rating agencies are telling us that they approve of the way the city is operating. Even though our city is growing by leaps and bounds, we are shrinking our costs while serving more citizens each year. We truly are doing more with less. Since 2008, we have cut roughly $20 million from the budget through operational efficiencies, despite being one of the fastest growing local governments in the region. The city's trend of increasing credit ratings since 2008 has been estimated to save the city over $20 million in debt service costs over the life of these loans, through lower borrowing costs on new money plus refinancing for savings. And when we will reach that AAA status soon, the savings will even be greater. Our financial advisors confirm that the city has made considerable progress in recent years, and this adopted budget maintains that progress even in the face of unforeseen challenges, limited resources, and tough decisions that were required. We have chosen to face our challenges head on, as we know that the test of leadership can only be won by taking the necessary and, yes, sometimes unpopular stand, when sometimes it would be easier to turn and run. We have demonstrated tremendous financial will, proven by staying firm in our policy principles and making tough adjustments to strike the necessary and fair balance of revenue, taxes, and expenditures in tough economic times. We can't erode our progress we've made over the last several years, and we won't lose our momentum. Our debt management has also been impressive, and today we meet all of our policies. That is a statement that we were not able to make a few years ago. The investments we've made and will continue to make in our infrastructure haven't gone unnoticed, and we've been recognized regionally for taking advantage of port-related development like warehouses. In fact, in statements made during the State of the Region address by Dr. James Cook, Board of Visitors Professor of Economics and President Emeritus of Old Dominion University, Suffolk is a major beneficiary of the Port of Virginia. Suffolk has a marvelous set of real estate and more container traffic that can only make Suffolk better. We can proudly boast of our manufacturing and industrial prowess and the highly skilled workforce that makes our region's companies successful. Federal investment is also important, and on March 11th, I had the privilege of joining Governor Bob McDonnell in announcing Unilever Lipton's reinvestment in Suffolk. In fact, we worked with Unilever for over 2 years on this project, and the executive stressed that the workforce was reliable, loyal, and highly skilled. They had enough confidence in Suffolk to reinvest in our economy when overseas and other states were under consideration. We must continue to seize the opportunities presenting themselves in new areas as well. In Suffolk, we have seen visionaries come together to create opportunities out of the modeling and simulation industry that began in the early 80s in the Joint Training Analysis and Simulation Centers, or JTASC. From the federal government's establishment of JTASC came Old Dominion's Virginia Modeling, Analysis, and Simulation Center, or VMASC. VMASC has grown to be one of the world's leading research centers in the advancement of the modeling and simulation industry. VMASC started with a Department of Defense contract and has diversified into the fields of transportation, social sciences, education, and healthcare. In fact, their technology is now incorporated into Eastern Virginia Medical School's ultrasonographic physician training process, which is another great example of diversifying a federal investment in Hampton Roads. Of course, we have seen modeling and simulation transition recently in Suffolk with the disestablishment of the United States Joint Forces Command, but the federal component of JIFCOM reestablished itself under the Joint Staff as the Joint Coalition in Warfighting, and continues to employ over 1,200 people in Suffolk today. We're also focusing on a new diversification opportunity, as the Navy's cyber forces will relocate 1,500 jobs to the former JIFCOM campus this September. President Obama has declared that the cyber threat is one of the most serious economic and national security challenges we face as a nation, and that America's economic prosperity in the 21st century will depend on cyber security. We are so fortunate today to have Admiral Gretchen Herbert with us as our guest and led us in the pledge, and I would ask that you please stand, Admiral Herbert, so that we once again can recognize you. We welcome you to our Suffolk community. While we're on the subject of our military, I want to take a moment to ask all of our active duty or retired military guests to stand, because freedom is never free. Please stand. We salute you for your patriotism and would like to extend a sincere and heartfelt thanks for your sacrifices and your service to your country. As you can see, as it relates to our financial standing, success does not come to those who wait, and it does not wait for anyone to come to it. Someone once said to me, "Success will never attack you," and I do believe that. Another topic recently discussed by Dr. Cook, and as a realtor, a subject especially near and dear to my heart, is the fact that Suffolk has turned the corner in the real estate market, and residential home sales have increased. So what else can we look forward to on the home front in Suffolk?
Whether you're a first-time buyer, you're looking for that dream home, or your focus is on a trend-setting loft in our downtown business district, in Suffolk, we've got you covered. In fact, we'll soon have more inventory to offer in one segment in particular.
we are getting ready to work on the rest of that block, all but 2 properties on that same side of the street where we just finished up 111. We have that under contract, and we hope to close in early July on that project. It's a partnership between ourselves and Sensei Development. It's going to be a little bit bigger because it's a lot bigger than 111, and we think it's going to be great. It's going to bring a lot more residents downtown, and we're also going to have a lot more commercial spaces downtown too. It makes sense for us. Suffolk, it has a nice feel. It feels almost like a Charlottesville or a college town, but you're in the heart of Hampton Roads. You're not far from the interstate. There's a lot of exciting things happening with the widening of 460. It just seems like it's kind of in the center. It's in the path of progress, and that's where we want to be. We just see a lot of great things happening in Suffolk in the future.
It's obvious we've got a multitude of options for that discriminating buyer or for those persons seeking convenient apartment, condominium, or retirement cottage lifestyles. The recession certainly took its toll on the number of permits issued for new construction in recent years, but starting last summer, the situation began to vastly improve. As a result of this growth in housing, retailers are eyeing North Suffolk after the Bainbridge Companies, which bills itself as a leading owner, developer, and manager of luxury multifamily apartment communities in the United States, purchased 10.6 acres in the mixed-use development of Hampton Roads Crossing. Retailers look closely at housing markets when deciding where to expand, and our newest developments have certainly piqued their interest. In fact, it was said that the market recognizes that Suffolk is a path of progress. Progress also continues just south of downtown in the White Marsh area, where Habitat for Humanity will be building up to 12 homes for low to moderate income families. Helen Summer, Executive Director for Habitat for Humanity of Southampton Roads, shares her enthusiasm.
We're very excited to work with the City of Suffolk on a project in the Lake Kennedy area starting this fall. We're working with the city staff to get all of the land subdivided and the plans approved, and then we'll be working with the community. We'll be looking for people to come out and help build. We'll be looking for sponsors to help fund, and we're very excited about getting this great project off the ground, just like we did here in northern Suffolk.
As you can see, in regards to housing, Suffolk has a vision and a plan, and that has made a difference throughout the city. Our reputation for offering good value and selection in real estate still holds true.
There's a saying that the road to success is always under construction, and truer words were never spoken. The excitement in Suffolk is palpable. No matter where you look, freshly dirt is being turned, and the sounds of progress are evident. We have a host of housing choices available for every budget and every taste. Our thoughtfully laid out plans include well-located shopping, residential, commercial, and medical facilities to add to the convenience for today's busy families. We're especially pleased that Monument Companies has chosen to continue to make a difference in our downtown. Just last spring, they celebrated the completion of the lofts at 111 with 26 modern apartments for lease or sale and existing commercial spaces, including popular wine and cheese shop C3 Vino. Now the Monument Companies will be breathing new life into an entire city block of our historical buildings along West Washington Street. This will bring approximately another 68 lofts and additional retail offerings to the eclectic downtown corridor to satisfy today's quest for urban contemporary living. It's also hard for me to contain my excitement when we speak about the Habitat for Humanity's upcoming project to take place in the East Suffolk Gardens neighborhood off White Marsh Road. These new homes will bring new hope to working low-income families where dreams of home ownership were out of their reach previously. Yes, the key to happiness is having dreams, and the key to success is making your dreams come true. Of course, another important factor in deciding where you call home is the quality of the schools. Every child needs a chance to succeed. Join me in the classroom as we look at education.
As the city continues to experience dynamic growth, education in Suffolk reflects a new level of excellence and innovation, with the construction of a much-anticipated new elementary school also underway to carry on that tradition. The influx of families, new construction, and local high-technology industries are among the factors driving the demand for quality schools, and Suffolk meets this growing need with a variety of educational opportunities for both our public and independent schools. As you'll hear from several students, in Suffolk there's definitely a culture of success.
What education means to me. Education is one of the top 3 things in the world that are just going to always be constant. It's time, change, and education. Not just the basic knowledge of what you learn in school, but street smarts, book smarts, common sense. Education is something that nobody will ever be able to take away from you. It's what's up here. No matter what happens in the world, education, learning, there's always something to grasp. So education is pretty much everything.
Education to me goes far beyond the basic math, science, history, and English classes. It's about preparing a student not only academically, but also mentally and socially for their future in the world. It's about teaching them to manage their time well and giving them the analytical skills to understand the challenges and stresses of everyday life. It's important to prepare a student in all aspects of life to give them the best possible chance of success.
To me, education is a key to life, and it's almost like a way out, because you could do anything you want with an education, and you can go anywhere with an education.
Education is preparation for the future and figuring out who and what you're going to do for the rest of your life.
Education to me means having the opportunity to discover new things that maybe you wouldn't be exposed to otherwise. It gives students the opportunity to be exposed to literature and science and math and history, all the things that maybe they wouldn't otherwise hear about if they weren't in school, if they weren't taking these classes that they couldn't have access to.
Helping to ensure that students are also successful readers is Suffolk's Teacher of the Year, Katie Halstead.
I chose to come back to Suffolk and teach because this is the community that has molded me into the adult I am today. Suffolk Public Schools afforded me many opportunities, and I just wanted to give back to the community that has given so much to me.
The role of our schools is simple yet profound. Preparing today's students for tomorrow's challenges is what they're all about, and this commitment to the future makes our schools successful.
As a former educator, I am fully aware that today's students are tomorrow's workforce. So ensuring that they have the technical skills and access to information necessary not only to complete successfully, but to excel in today's global economy has always been one of my top priorities. I'd like to recognize the students who were featured in the video and ask that those that are with us today please stand and be recognized. Do we have our students? You truly are the future of our city. Helping to lay the foundation for learning also is our Teacher of the Year, Katie Halstead, and I'd ask that she please stand and be recognized. Ms. Halstead? She's back in the corner. Thank you for your love of learning and for giving that love of learning that you instill in your students every single day. The educational opportunities available for our children also reflect our belief that maintaining our leadership in research and technology is crucial, not only to our city's success, but to America's success. Indeed, we are fortunate to have many of our area's modeling and simulation businesses playing a significant role in that process. In response to demand for high-tech companies and local warehousing industries locating in Suffolk, I am pleased to advise that our schools, including the Prudence Center for Technology and Paul Duchamp Community College, offer a wide-ranging number of courses in computerized software design and gaming, computer animation, plus the geospatial technology and 2-year modeling and simulation support specialist training program. These courses are in addition to the popular warehousing and distribution operational training programs, and not mentioning the traditional curriculum we have every day, all of which definitely benefits our students in their quest for employment in our area's fastest growing fields. There are many ways to measure success, and Suffolk Public Schools measures their success one child at a time. Their goal is to ensure that every graduate has discovered his or her strengths and passion, is prepared for college, the workforce, military, or has a plan to launch the next chapter of his or her life. It's not just our fantastic location, our abundance of housing opportunities, or our outstanding schools that we're known for, but it's our quality of life that is second to none in the Hampton Roads area, and we've certainly become a destination of choice. Just take a look for yourself.
Economic development also means investing in quality of life. The truth is that labor is mobile, and skilled employees go where the quality of life is high, and they certainly found that in Suffolk. Here, the latest in medical science is being combined with a long-standing sense of community to provide residents with top-quality health care. Advanced medical technology and equipment allows Suffolk's doctors, nurses, and healthcare specialists to detect, diagnose, and treat illnesses more quickly and efficiently than ever before. Quality healthcare has kept pace with Suffolk's dynamic growth. When it comes to looking out for your health, you'll find that Suffolk's well-equipped and professional medical community has the right prescription for you.
Sentara OBC Hospital strives to be the healthcare choice for the community. We have had a number of new services developed here in the last few years that have increased our offerings and the ability for people to stay in the community for their health care.
There's no more important indicator of a city's livability and ability to attract new economic growth than safety. We can proudly state that in Suffolk, not only are we fortunate to have the very best public safety professionals in the region, but they also are prepared with the latest equipment and technologies, all designed to keep our citizens safe. We recently welcomed a new fire chief to take the helm at Suffolk Fire and Rescue, and he certainly hit the ground running.
Well, my background is in fire and emergency medical services, and over the past 25 years I've had an opportunity to serve as a firefighter, work my way through the ranks to serve as an assistant fire chief and fire chief. And on the medical side, for 13 years I had an opportunity to ride an ambulance and serve as an emergency medical technician and a paramedic. With that experience and that background, it became a dream of mine to one day lead an organization that provides fire and emergency medical services. And I began to research the city of Suffolk, and the more and more I researched, the more and more I realized that this is the place that I needed to be.
Enhancing the quality of life for a different breed of citizens, Suffolk opened the doors at a much-needed 3,600 square foot expansion at the Suffolk Animal Shelter last summer. With a public lobby, adoption support space, and renovation of the existing building, the shelter has proven to be a welcome improvement for the services and programs aiding in the rescue, rehabilitation, and adoption of animals waiting for their forever home. Adding to the excitement of the event, following the ribbon cutting of the animal shelter, literally thousands of citizens, law enforcement personnel, and public officials gathered together throughout the evening for Suffolk's 2012 National Night Out Going Away Party for Crime. We continued our national award-winning tradition and finished in the top 5 in the United States for our population category in the National Association of Town Watch's 29th Annual National Night Out Against Crime, Drugs, and Gang Prevention event. In fact, Suffolk was the only Hampton Roads city to place nationally and the highest-ranking city or county in the entire state of Virginia. Adding to our quality of life is a vast array of restaurants and an abundance of shopping opportunities. Our big scissors have certainly gotten a workout recently as we're cutting ribbons and welcoming new businesses every month. Our Love Local, Buy Suffolk campaign has been a huge success as our citizens have taken the message to heart and continue to support our local businesses, keeping more dollars in our local economy to fund important local services. Indeed, we are fortunate to live in a city with such a rich history, a dynamic present, and an unlimited future.
A community is about more than just economic growth. It's about giving people pride in their city and the desire to live here, raise their children here, and grow old here. Generations of families have called Suffolk home for good reason. There has never been a better or safer time to live in Suffolk. We have the second lowest crime rate in Hampton Roads thanks to proactive enforcement and patrol efforts by the police department. And our fire and rescue department has seen response times lowered, even though service calls have more than doubled since 2000. I'd like to ask all of Suffolk's public safety personnel to please stand and be recognized. I know you're all here. Each day, you put your lives on the line so that we can go about doing our lives feeling safe. Your dedication and commitment are greatly appreciated. But there's one officer that I'd like to remain standing, and that's Officer James Winslow. James is the recipient of 2 awards at the Chamber of Commerce's recent inaugural Valor Awards breakfast. Officer Winslow most deservedly received the Gold Medal of Valor and the Ultimate Sacrifice Award. Also Suffolk's Officer of the Year. We are so proud of Officer Winslow. I, for one, will never forget that day last May when I learned that one of Suffolk's finest had been critically injured in the line of duty. Even though he had been brutally beaten after pulling over a felon driving a stolen vehicle, his instincts were to protect his gun rather than himself. His heroic actions possibly have saved the lives of his fellow officers and other citizens in the manhunt which followed, and we will forever be in his debt for his personal sacrifice to our community. We also want to commend the 6 members of Suffolk Fire and Rescue that also received the prestigious Group Life-Saving Award at this event. Their heroic response to a residential fire this past December put their own lives in jeopardy as they rescued a woman from a burning home. So intense was that fire that several crew members had to have their personal protective equipment replaced, and one firefighter sustained second-degree burns to his ears in the rescue. Senior firefighter Joseph Asbell, firefighter medic Terry Davenport, senior firefighter David Dickens, Captain William Kessinger, Lieutenant Taz Lancaster, and firefighting medic Colton Pulley were recipients of this first Group Life-Saving Award, and I am delighted that several of these courageous firefighters are able to join us today and would ask you to please stand to be recognized. Chief Cedric Scott, would you please stand? As Suffolk's new fire chief, not first, but new, we welcome you to your first State of the City event. And we thank you for choosing Suffolk as your new home. I know it was not an easy decision. You left a lot behind, but we are so grateful that you are here, and we look forward to your service. Thank you. I am truly in awe each and every day of all of our public safety professionals. And each and every day, I am so proud to be your mayor because I know what you give to our city, and we cannot ever thank you enough. For true success, ask yourself these 4 questions. Why? Why not? Why not me? And why not more? Those are questions that have been dutifully asked and answered by an individual who has been known for his service for decades. The Suffolk and North Suffolk Rotary Club recently selected as their 2013 First Citizen a former city council member, leader in several local organizations, community servant, local dentist for more than 50 years, and one of the first people that I met upon coming to Suffolk when I was barely in teenage years. We have today with us, and I would like to ask Dr. Leroy Howe, please stand. I can't think of a more worthy recipient for the First Citizen. And I know that as we go through this, you begin to see what makes Suffolk so special. It's our people. It's truly the people that live in our city. It comes as no surprise to me that according to a study last fall by the Chronicle of Philanthropy, Suffolk residents donate more of their disposable income to charity than the state as a nation or the nation as a whole. Even in the most difficult of economic times, our citizens continue to assist those in need. We also rely on our strong volunteer spirit, and we all give back to one another through fundraisers and mutual support. The United Way and Relay for Life are charities of choice for the city of Suffolk, and golf tournaments and employee-sponsored campaigns ranging from bake sales to car washes have raised tens of thousands of dollars in recent years to benefit our friends and neighbors. Local businesses are also extremely charitable. In fact, for one, the Walmart on North Main Street finished first in the nation last summer after their 7-week project to raise money for the Children's Hospital of the King's Daughters. This is just one example of the many, many businesses that play an active role in our community. Another major focus of quality of life is, of course, medical care. We are fortunate to have today's Platinum Series sponsor, Bon Secours Virginia Health System, as well as today's table sponsor, Sentara Healthcare, providing our citizens with the very best medical care on the East Coast. In fact, just last fall, Sentara Obici Hospital was named a 2012 winner of National Research Corporation Packer Third Annual Path to Excellence Award, recognizing healthcare organizations for their dedication to improving the patient experience. I know all of you probably can't relate to this, but people that are my age know that there was a time when we had to leave the city of Suffolk to get medical care. We just didn't have certain specialties. Today, we have it all, and we are so happy to have that in our community. On a community level, Lakeview Medical Center, with a legacy of serving Suffolk since 1906, has joined Bayview Physicians Group, and they've expanded their medical services to include additional specialties and expanded ancillary services. Additionally, Bayview will soon be opening a new state-of-the-art healthcare facility on Godwin Boulevard, which will offer urgent care and walk-in services using a model called patient-centered home medical. Building on our blueprint of success, we've got big plans for the future of downtown. A downtown that will be walkable and that will serve citizens in a multitude of ways. Future plans for a new library that would fill many roles and could also partner with a higher education institution. The construction of the new municipal center is certainly a catalyst for change in our downtown, with promises of even more high-density residential and mixed-use development to follow. In fact, I'm pleased to announce that we'll soon have 3 more retail opportunities downtown, with the new Hobby Game and Sports Station, Simply Susan's Bakery and Cafe, and the All About Virginia and More gift shop opening in the near future. When you talk about quality of life issues, you're talking about individuals having choices, and it's evident that choices abound in Suffolk. But even more important is the spirit of caring for our community and that old Southern hospitality that permeates every part of our city and defines what quality of life here means. It has been said that it is in his pleasure that a man really lives, but it is from his leisure that he constructs the true fabric of self. Let's look at our unparalleled opportunities for leisure and culture.
Suffolk is the ideal place to celebrate our diversity of culture, history, events, and attractions. Here you encounter wonderful charm, but also amazing electricity. From family favorite festivals to downtown parades, fireworks exhibits, and everything in between, there's always something happening in Suffolk. If it's a traditional walk in the park you're looking for, or something much more challenging, we've got you covered.
Parks and Recreation provides opportunities for teens, youth, adults, and seniors to get healthy and active. Whether you're participating in a program or just visiting one of our facilities, it is a positive way for you to improve your overall quality of life.
Suffolk is a city of active and energetic people, and will soon have even more opportunities to enjoy the great outdoors. Coming soon will be the much-anticipated Lake Mead Dog Park, the predominantly grant-funded Lake Mead Trail for hiking and walking enthusiasts, and later this year, the Seaboard Coastline Trail, also chiefly grant-funded. Our water lovers will enjoy greater opportunities for fishing, canoe and kayak launches, and special accommodations have also been made for our disabled citizens to have access to water recreation. Without the diligent pursuit of grants by city personnel to fund many of these projects, we wouldn't have this good news to be able to share. Speaking of good news, a development agreement years in the making and a milestone in the history of our city, the Commonwealth, and the country has been signed with the Nansemond Indian Tribal Association, who has begun the initial phase of work for the authentic recreation of the tribe's 17th century village that stood near Lone Star Lakes Park on the Nansemond River. Chief Barry Bass comments on this lifelong dream, which will now be realized.
Personally, I think it means a lot to me, for the simple fact, honoring my ancestors, my heritage and culture, but a way that I can share it with the public, that I can have it for the children, the school kids, and the others to learn the history, how it really was, and be able to see it hands-on. I'm excited, and I think it's something that the city can be proud of, and that the citizens of Suffolk will be glad to come to and enjoy being here.
Recreational opportunities are as diverse as our landscape, from challenging golf courses, all with spectacular water views, to historic destinations such as Cedar Hill Cemetery, Riddick's Folly House Museum, and the Seaboard Station Railroad Museum. Good times await you at every turn, and don't forget the hauntingly beautiful Great Dismal Swamp National Wildlife Refuge, a nature lover's paradise. Take in a performance, gallery exhibit, or enjoy nationally known entertainers and artists at the Suffolk Center for Cultural Arts. While you're at it, don't miss the abundance of offerings at the Suffolk Art Gallery. In Suffolk, opportunities for a high-quality cultural experience are endless. Just as endless are the opportunities to excite your taste buds with offerings from a number of restaurants, some nationally recognized, and others destined for the limelight. As you can see, whatever your taste for leisure and culture, in Suffolk, you can have it all.
Every month and every season brings a new occasion to celebrate this wonderfully rich, beautiful, diverse city that we call home. Whether exploring our quaint villages or our city's rich history and heritage, our nature's lovers' paradises and amazing parks, over 8,000 acres of pristine lakes and miles of riverfront, our ever-evolving cultural arts programs that add more and more to our quality of life. There's something here for everyone in Suffolk. Sharing the news of the good times that await you here is the Suffolk Division of Tourism, who this past year brought home honors in several categories from the Virginia Association of Convention and Visitors Bureaus. Not only did they win the award for Best Visitor Center for the repurposed Nansemond County Courthouse, and as you're leaving this afternoon, please go over and take a look at our special events pavilion directly across the street from us. They also won the Best Ecotourism Initiative for the 10th Annual Suffolk Swamp Roar Motorcycle Rally that raised awareness of the Great Dismal Swamp National Wildlife Refuge and provided funding support for the Great Dismal Swamp Birding Festival. Additionally, they won the Best Heritage Tourism Initiative for the Legends of Main Street, a Suffolk ghost walk, for their dynamic, low-cost way to cultivate interest in our history and heritage while generating tourism revenue. And if we want to talk about getting bang for our buck, tourism-related spending in Suffolk in 2012 increased by almost 11% from the previous year and totaled approximately $61.8 million according to data from the Virginia Tourism Corporation. In fact, when you compare the tax dollars collected to the amount spent on tourism, we get back $4 for every $1 we spend. That's a good investment by anyone's standards. As one of Virginia's fastest growing cities, we know it is imperative for us to keep pace with the ever-growing needs of our citizens, and our recreational, leisure, and cultural activists are especially important given today's hectic lifestyles. We've heard about the numerous projects currently underway or in planning stages for our Parks and Recreation Department. One such project is the Whaleville Community Center, which will be opening next year, construction on the repurposed Robertson Elementary School. This will ensure the citizens of Whaleville have access to not just a fitness center, computer rooms, and more, but also a walking trail and sports field behind the former school. Projects to enhance our ability to access our waterways are also greatly anticipated. But for me, I can't think of a project that experiences more anticipation than the Mattinock Town. Chief Bass, I am so delighted that this historically significant project will now finally move forward. From all that you've seen and heard, it is evident that we're serious about having fun in Suffolk. But we're also serious about the future of this great city. Our blueprint for success demands that we continue to focus on economic development as a priority, that we safeguard the economic assets we have in place, and that we look at new ways to not only continue to bring industry and new jobs to Suffolk, but to support our existing industries and businesses. Across Suffolk's 430 square miles, we have seen business growing and expanding, new companies choosing to come and move to Suffolk, because they know the value of doing business in a city that offers a trained workforce and a high quality of life. As these businesses invest in Suffolk, jobs and opportunities are created for our citizens, new tax revenues pay for essential city services, help fund our schools, and both consumer choice and quality of life are enhanced. Watch with me now, and we'll hear from Economic Development Director Kevin Hughes.
I think in the city of Suffolk, we have adopted that we are a growing community. And so we have embraced that, and we're planning for it to welcome all different types of companies in order to have a very diverse workforce and industry base in the city.
It now gives me great pleasure to introduce you to Suffolk's very own national winner in the economic development industry's top 40 Under 40 Award. Kevin Hughes, please stand. Not only has Kevin earned this prestigious designation as a nationally rising star in the economic development profession, he's also thrust our city even more into the spotlight for his results-driven methods, great vision, and work ethic. Congratulations, Kevin. His department also received an award of merit this past summer by the Southern Economic Development Council, the largest and oldest economic development association in the United States, who recognized their outstanding marketing work for their 2011 Economic Activity Report. In this year's Economic Activity Report, which is proudly making its official debut today, you'll note that we have a total of 66 expanding and new businesses which opened in 2012, bringing 1,957 new jobs and more than $94,371,000 in new capital investment. That includes more than 555,000 in new square footage and over 471,000 additional square feet in expansions in existing businesses. Those are numbers to be celebrated, and once again, it validates CNN Money Magazine's including Suffolk in the top job where the jobs are top 25. For any of you that are counting, that's 977 more jobs than even last year's numbers. It's also important to note that included in those figures are a large number of small businesses, and we recognize the importance, for they are the foundation of economic health in our community. While all of our grand openings and ribbon cuttings are exciting, there are several this year that were especially memorable. Back in July, Ace Hardware's new Suffolk Import Redistribution Center brought Secretary of Commerce and Trade Jim Chang to our city as they cut the ribbon to become the first tenant to occupy space in the 900-acre Centerpoint Intermodal Center. They've also distinguished themselves for their green initiatives, and they have been declared a zero landfill industry. Following just a few short months later, Congressman Randy Forbes joined me when ACE's newest neighbor, the Navy Exchange Service Command, or NEXCOM, opened their new Northeast Distribution Center. Sumitomo, a global leader in the power transmission industry, also opened their new 60,000 square foot distribution center in the Virginia Regional Commerce Park. Last fall, this location in Suffolk enables the center to operate in a foreign trade zone and streamlines their international supply chain. Again, these are just a few of the many businesses that we were proud to have open last year in Suffolk. Another business I'd like to recognize recently relocated here from Portsmouth. And in fact, it gives me great pleasure to acknowledge them as the Hampton Roads Chamber of Commerce 2013 Small Business of the Year, Reed Integration. They noted that coming to the Bridgeway Technology Center puts them closer to where the cyber commands are coming and offers them the opportunity to grow in the future. We're excited that they've chosen to grow their future with us. You know, I wouldn't be able to close today's comments about successful businesses without mentioning Planters Peanuts, a company that essentially puts Suffolk on the map internationally, and one that this year will be celebrating a century in Suffolk. We have a long and happy history together, and all you need to do is roll down your windows as you pass the Culloden Street plant and just take a whiff. You'll have that wonderful memory, that great smell of roasting peanuts, and you'll understand the love affair that we share. Large or small, family-owned or with international ties, the businesses that have invested in Suffolk know one thing for certain. If everyone is moving forward together, then success takes care of itself. I can't talk about moving forward this afternoon without taking the opportunity to thank Delegate S. Chris Jones. Chris, please stand. We may, okay. Chris had to leave us, but that's okay. That's all right. Because once again, Chris is a Suffolk guy, a Chuckatuck boy. Chris once again braved party lines and was instrumental in the passage of the historic legislation that is projected to literally bring billions of dollars of new money in the Commonwealth's coffers for road construction. In fact, we can expect to see approximately $220 million set aside for Hampton Roads projects alone, and look forward to assistance with the much-needed widening of the Route 58 corridor. We spoke, and he listened. We sent a strong message to Richmond that our economy cannot continue to grow if our people and products can't move. It's indeed our duty and our privilege to keep America moving forward. So we thank Chris this afternoon. We thank Delegate Spruill for being here with us also. We thank the General Assembly for what they did. Speaking of moving forward, I am also delighted to announce that US 460 Mobility Partners, LLC, has just selected Suffolk for their headquarters. Their staff and people from VDOT have leased 18,000 square feet of space in the Bridgeway Technology Center in the Harborview area for administrative duties for the Route 460 project. Approximately 100 staff will be operating out of these offices. The 460 project will run parallel to the existing route between Suffolk and Petersburg and span 55 miles. The 5-year construction project is expected to require 4,000 workers, and when completed should create 14,000 jobs according to state officials. Not only will this new roadway provide relief for the large number of trucks and vehicles using that highway, it will also deliver a better hurricane evacuation route and is expected to help keep military facilities in Hampton Roads. Good news all around, I would say. The distinction our city has earned in recent years is the product of hard work, determination, and teamwork by our citizens and by our public folks, private folks, every single business that's represented here today. It is a tribute to the perseverance, planning, and teamwork of an entire community. Private citizens, public servants, business, industry, military, civilian, every single person, all who value the rewards of hard work and share the hopes for an even brighter, more promising future. Does that sound optimistic? You bet it does, because optimism is essential to achievement, and it's also the foundation of courage and true progress. Thank you so much for joining us today, and I submit to you that the current state of the city of Suffolk is strong and getting stronger. I will tell you that our blueprint for success is one of which we can all be proud, and it is working. And in closing, I leave you with one last thought and a bit of a challenge. We should, all of us, be filled with gratitude and humility for our present progress and prosperity. We should be filled with awe and joy at what's to come and what lies just over the horizon. And we should be filled with the absolute determination to make the most of every single day and every opportunity. Thank you so much.
We have one additional guest that I would like to recognize that snuck in just a little bit late, and that is Mike Combs, CEO of the Virginia Peninsula Chamber of Commerce. Mike, thank you for joining us. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you for joining us today, but please don't leave just yet, as Mayor Johnson and all of the members of Suffolk City Council invite you to join them for a delicious dessert reception at the veranda adjacent to the rear of the hotel. Again, we would like to thank you all for joining us today, and make sure that you take time to also listen to some talented Suffolk students that are going to be entertaining us as well. Again, thank you for coming.